Good afternoon and welcome to the second EAMC home webinar. This one's Get Known, Optimize Your Influence on LinkedIn. I'm Kirk Wingerson, the Marketing Division Manager of Orlando Venues, which includes the Amway Center and Camping World Stadium. I also am the Vice President of Agenda for the Event Arena Marketing Conference. So before we get underway, I wanted to share just a few announcements. If you're not familiar with EAMC or just joining us for the first time, I wanted to let you know that we're glad you're here. EAMC is a group of professionals working in the live entertainment industry that specialize in marketing, public relations, social media, group sales, among other roles. Our 40th conference was scheduled to take place in person in Minneapolis next month, but obviously the pandemic had other plans for us. So in lieu of meeting face-to-face, we've done a bit of pivoting, just like everybody else. And we've begun offering relevant and insightful sessions online in a session that we're calling EAMC at Home. So we'll be doing this every other week for the foreseeable future, and hopefully you'll continue to join us when you can. So if there are any topics that you'd like us to cover in the weeks and months ahead, we encourage you to please join our Facebook message board and share them with us. If it doesn't help you, it doesn't help us. I mean, this is for the greater good of the industry that we all work in. I also encourage you to visit our website. It's eventarenamarketing.com, and you can learn a lot about our organization there. And I wanted to specifically point out that we recently beefed up our Career Center page and removed the cost to place a job listing. So if you're in an opportunity where you realize you're going to be hiring people within your organization, or perhaps you're looking for a new opportunity, go to our Career Center within the Event Arena Marketing website, and you'll see it all there. Finally, what I wanted to announce is that in 2 weeks, we're going to have another EAMC at Home webinar, and this one is the EAMC Town Hall. So in that one, the focus will really be about reopening messaging and marketing. So it's really relevant to all of us as we kind of gear and approach phase one. So now it is my pleasure to get on with the show and introduce our special guest speaker, Ann Pryor. She's a globally recognized online brand strategist, a top 10 international LinkedIn sales trainer, an executive career coach, and a visionary future mapper, and a Lovitude soul painter, which I'm sure she'll talk about at some point, and she was recently featured by Hallmark. So she clearly wears a lot of hats. And so as a LinkedIn expert, she has coached and trained over 100,000 people and has personally written more than 10,000 branded LinkedIn client profiles. So Ann, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, you're welcome, Kirk. It's really nice to be here, friends. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into sharing my screen here, you guys. And I just want to let you know that I have been in your industry. I started my career at Valley Fair, where I met Karen Swan. Karen is one of the co-founders of this organization some years ago. I'm not going to name the years, but she was at the Met Center. Maybe you've heard of the Met Center. It sits where the Mall of America is now. And coming full circle, I was one of the first employees hired on Camp Snoopy Mall of America, which is in Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota. So my home is in Minnetonka, Minnesota. That's where I reside. I was going to see you in person, face to face in June, but now I'm pleased to see you here today. So I'm going to talk about 4 things, friends, and I'd like you to pull out a piece of paper and a pencil and put it beside you, because I'm going to give you some action items to do today. I'm going to talk fast and furiously because I have about 6 hours of things to share in the hour that we have together. I'm going to really focus on 4 things. The first one is how to look great to be found. The second one is how to get noticed on LinkedIn. Next is how to connect with the right people. And the last one is how to use LinkedIn for job search. Hey friends, people usually think LinkedIn is just an identity management tool. Well, it is that. It's your resume. It's your volunteer experiences and causes. It's your past jobs and projects that you've done. In addition, it's your Rolodex. And the last thing is your knowledge management. What is your thought leadership? Most of you are falling flat in this thought leadership area, and I'm going to give you some case studies today on how you can pull that forward so you can be seen and known. Friends, today's presentation is on my LinkedIn profile. So if you happen to have your phone in front of you and your LinkedIn app uploaded, you can type in my name. My name is Ann, A-N-N-E, Pryor, in the LinkedIn app. I do want you to connect with me, but if you look at my LinkedIn profile and scroll down to the featured area, you can also see this presentation, which I'm going to leave up for the next 2 days. Hey, I just want to tell you some stats here. So the big picture is there's 662 million professionals now on LinkedIn, 170 industries. 41% of the 11 million millionaires are on LinkedIn. Now, this is good news for some of you who sells the box seats at some of your locations. So you know this is a very rich tool with wealthy people. Friends, today I just did a quick search on LinkedIn. Do you know there's 78,000 event jobs that are posted currently today? 6,280 of them say live event, and 31,000 live event companies are on LinkedIn, and 5,800 arena companies are on LinkedIn. I'm going to show you how to find these companies today and find keywords. Before I get started, I really want to talk to you about your online identity and what does it say about you. So here's the first action item. If you could write down 1, I'd like you to Google, Bing, and Yahoo yourself. And that means you're going to actually type your name in the Google search engine on Bing, Yahoo, and Google, and you're going to hit search, and you're going to type all in images, and you're going to see what shows up. Now, if you're not showing up in these searches, I just want you to know that you're not being found, because the LinkedIn profile should be showing up first because it's so highly connected to Google. So number 1 is search yourself. The second thing I want you to do is set up Google Alerts. This is number 2. You just open a new Google, you type in the word alerts, and in this case, look what I typed in, live events, COVID. And what I see down below here are, when are live events coming back? And what do Los Angeles healthcare officials say? And when are they going to return for concerts? So you friends should know about what's happening in your community, obviously, but in other communities, because you might want to post this, like, comment, and share. You might want to call the Kirks of your community to talk about how you can collaborate together. So when you do this Google alert, you can get these automatic alerts. Now, I get 6 of them 3 times a day on my phone. I read the alert and I share it on LinkedIn. So I'm always up to the minute news on what's going on. So let's say you might want to type in live event production jobs, Los Angeles, or group sales jobs for sports marketing, New York. So those are the kinds of things you can also talk about. The third thing, friends, is you need to know your keywords. So this is basically a chart of my keywords that an artificial intelligence bot picked up from my LinkedIn profile. So what I'm asking you to do, step 3 now, is to create a table of your keywords. There's actually 6 different columns in the table, if you could write that down, okay? So the first column is the titles of the job that you are seeking. The second column would be the company that you're interested in. The third column would be the industry. The fourth column would be technical skills. The fifth one would be interpersonal skills. And the 6th column would be outlier skills. So, for instance, when I took an artificial intelligence of me, Future Mapper came up first. Well, I'm one of 100 people trained by Masanori Kanda out of Japan to future map, but I don't want that to be first. So I needed to reconfigure some of my keywords so I came up higher in searches. Those of you that are in marketing, you understand search engine optimization. And that's basically what I'm talking about today. Uh-oh, here's the hack bot. And what I want you to know is, if you don't pay attention to your LinkedIn profile and your other social media sites, you may be getting hacked. This is my buddy, Lenny Newman. Lenny refers me a lot of business, and he is my client. Lenny got hacked by a bot in January. He calls me and says, Ann, I was taken over. Could you please help me? And because we had his phone number in his profile, I was able to go in and reset the password and get into his profile. So what I'm telling you is, you need to get into your profile at least once a week. We need to have a strong password, and you need to know what's going on, or you could be hacked by bots. So you don't know this, but you're getting hacked by bots every day. There's people that want to get into your network that haven't left you a personal message, or maybe they have left you a personal message, but it's kind of odd. So I'm going to address that in a minute, how to handle those situations. Number 1, I want you to Google, Bing, and Yahoo yourself and see what's going on. Friends, this is the most important thing you're going to do on LinkedIn. It's set the settings. Your settings are in this black navigation bar, and they're actually right underneath this mini me, your tiny head. When you click the mini me way up the top right, and you go to settings and privacy, you will then be hopped to a settings and privacy page where you can set all kinds of settings. This is the most important thing I want you to do first, is set the settings. One of the biggest settings to set is how to reserve your own profile URL. And so you click the pencil and type in your name and you set your URL. When you do that, you show up higher in searches. The second thing you want to do is make sure that you have all the toggles checked here, so that content will also show up. Hey friends, I had a creepy situation this morning that I wasn't going to tell you, but I am going to tell you. On the right-hand side of your profile are people who have also been viewed before you got viewed by somebody, okay? So I was asked to join someone's network this morning, and this woman lived in Dubai, and she said that she helped speakers get more speaking engagements. And when I looked at her LinkedIn profile, I saw that 40 of my connections were connected to her. But here's what I did. Before I blindly accepted her, I looked at her profile and there were typing errors. And I looked over here on the right-hand side and there were women that were, I would just say, scarcely clad, okay? And so what I realized is this was a bot profile. And so I quickly ignored her and I reported her profile to LinkedIn. And what happens with my executives when they don't pay attention is they connect with somebody like that, and then those people, those women, start endorsing them. And that means that those women then get in their network. So I want you to be really careful who's in your network, and you can turn off people also viewed. The next thing I want to show you is you can creep on people, sneak peek and research, you guys, and people won't see that you're leaving tracks behind. I call these the breadcrumbs. So the setting that says profile viewing options, you turn it down when you're just doing your research. You turn it up when you want to show your name and headline. So let's just say your profile is not complete yet. You don't look good yet. So be in the private mode when you look at people. After my workshop today, clean up your profile, then you can show your name and headline. So the bottom line is I toggle back and forth based on who I'm looking at for what reason. Hey friends, when you're building your profile, it's really important not to blast this stuff out to all your friends. So there's a toggle switch that says, do you want to share or not? Please don't share with your network if you're just starting to clean up your profile, okay? So turn those toggles to no. Now, I want to talk about getting noticed. This is one of our clients, Will Smith. Will was an executive at Radisson Hotels. He loves putting on big conferences and events all over the world. I want you to notice his branded banner behind his head. There's a lot of people here. This is before COVID, but he loves creating big events. He is a regional vice president of operations. So now I'm talking about you building your profile, and I'd like you to take notice of this. This is called the professional headline. It's the most important first line on LinkedIn. So those of you that are still working, you would have the title of the job that you are at your company, and then a brand statement about what your company does. Those of you that aren't working, I'm going to address this in just a moment. So in Will's case, he wants to be a regional vice president of operations. He creating operational innovation, driving engagement and performance in hospitality. You will also notice that his 500 plus connections are blue. And what that means is that those connections are available for me to do a gold mine dive in. He and I are first degree friends, and he's left his contacts open. If I hit contact info, I could also see his email address, his phone number, and different links to his past life at the Radisson and at the Hilton. Here's where he's currently working. Here's where he went to college. He is currently open to opportunities because he's furloughed. This is a new area on LinkedIn. It says open to job opportunities. What I'd like you to do here would be type in 5 jobs that pull from the drop-down box. Okay, So this is called the top card area of LinkedIn, and I'd like yours to be completely filled out. As you roll down on your profile, this is the About section. Tell a story about who you are. Notice the first 40 words are the most important, gang. This is a tip. The first 40 words on the About section. So what I'd like you to tell a story is, who are you? What is your title? What do you do for somebody? And what results have you had? If you're in job search, you would also put your email address right here. The next line tells a story about either what you're currently doing or what you just left, and then what you focus on. And then down below, here he tells he grew up in Virginia and New Mexico, and he always had a passion for travel. So this is why he's so good at what he does, because it's just innate in him. So this is an example of a summary. A summary could be 2,000 characters long. That's about 400 words. But friends, the most important are these words up top, because those first 3 lines are the only thing people see. Please meet Maureen Bausch. She's my friend. We work together. We opened Mall of America. She was the Super Bowl CEO when it was in Minneapolis. This is the image Maureen has behind her head. She drove a great deal of new revenue to Minneapolis during the time. And these are featured sections. This is a new area on LinkedIn. You guys, you have so many great pictures that you can put up here. On your website, you've got beautiful events that you've handled, managed, created sponsorships, drove group sales for. So in Maureen's case, we pulled up some articles from the newspapers across the country about how much revenue she generated based on the excellent job that she did with the Super Bowl. So I'd like you to go out and start curating your content. This is another action. Go grab some pictures or websites so that you can pull up in this featured section. In this section is where I have my presentation today that you can go back and look at. So now I've made a couple of mock-ups for you. Please take some good notes here. So this is my head. This is a banner. Maybe some of you guys know this site. This is not my name, but it could be, okay? And this is an example of a professional headline that some of you that are on furlough could put on your profile. You're an event promoter, that's your title, at Bamboo Field, doesn't exist, and you're furloughed, and then you deliver extraordinary guest experiences and you create win-win sponsorships. So this is what you do, what you have done, and what you're looking to do. Here is your title. You're furloughed from this company, so we know that you're available. Here's another example. Event manager, furloughed through July 2020, okay? Seeking to create memorable, custom, experiential corporate events. So this is an example of what that might look like. So you're getting the hang of how to use this professional headline to tell your story. Friends, I'm a recruiter as well, and this is the first line that gets searched on LinkedIn. So that's why I want you to put the titles of the job that you're seeking here, and then the information about what it is you do for an organization. Okay, here's an example of how your current position should look if you're currently working. In Will's case, he's a regional vice president of ops at Radisson Hotels. He's been there for 2 years and 2 months. He's accountable for this, and these are the key accomplishments that he's done. Notice I put a header on top of this so people can realize that he's a collaborative guy that creates new market strategies, and he drives incremental revenue, because that's what hotels want these days. So we put a header on top of all of his key accomplishments. We did that for all of his past jobs, including the Hilton job. Okay, friends, this is really important, and this is the most important thing I'm going to teach you today. This happens to be on slide 28. You can take a picture of it if you want on your phone. This is an example if you're not currently working. So you must have something in the present position. You see this? It says present. So this is a placeholder job. So I want to be a group sales executive, and I type that in the title line. I want to be a group sales executive in arenas with sports teams, event centers, museums, theme parks, and I want a full-time job. So instead of typing the city of Orlando, I put the interest areas. Now look down here. Due to COVID furlough, seeking group sales manager, promotion, sponsorship. Oops. Okay, one more thing. Sponsorships at these events centers where I can create extraordinary guest experiences and develop win-win corporate partnerships to grow revenue. I love working in this industry and I'd love to connect with you. So that is an example of a placeholder that you would want to put in here. As I move through the profile, it's really important that you have the right skills in your LinkedIn profile. So think about the skills that are on the job descriptions. Pull those over into your LinkedIn profile. It's really important to endorse each other. Here's what you don't realize. You guys, when you look at a job description, I have paid premium service on LinkedIn. In this particular job, it said that I had 6 out of the top 10 skills. Well, yes, I do customer service and Microsoft Office and event planning and event management. I just hadn't added those skills to my profile. So I quickly add those skills to my profile and I'm going to be 100% match for this job. So here's the real deal. As I post a job on LinkedIn as a recruiter, number one, it costs me $300 a month to keep that job up. And as soon as I post a job, 99 LinkedIn profiles are pushed to my inbox. And those 99 LinkedIn profiles have 2 things in common. Number one, in the current present position, they have the exact same title that I'm seeking. And number 2, they have the most skills and the most endorsements for the skills that I'm seeking. So your action here is to get endorsements and get skills from the job descriptions. Friends, there's a new area on LinkedIn. Near your head, there's an add profile section in blue. When you click this, you can put in more projects, publications, certifications, honors and awards, patents, and organizations. I really want you to drop in projects. So let me just give you an example of what's going on right now when I search jobs for our industry. What I saw was online live events, okay? That's what I saw as a job title. So let's pretend like you run online events. So here's what Kirk is going to put in his project area: online event facilitator, or online event manager, or online event sponsor manager. And then here's a description of the online event. So you can see what I've done. I've made it bold. In other words, I've capitalized the words that I want to draw your attention to. So your homework, which I call joy work, because you're working on yourself, is to add 3 projects, okay? So I want 3 projects in your profile. One might be group sales, one might be budgeting, one might be sponsorship, one might be the operations side, one might be dealing with corporate clients, etc. So please put those in. Friends, do you know that 20% of hiring managers say they hire somebody because they volunteered someplace? I know us in this industry, we are like king, queens of volunteers, right? We spend so much time at our locations and associations, and we also volunteer. So I really want you to put your volunteer experiences and causes in your profile, which you can do now in this new area of LinkedIn. Friends, on your LinkedIn profile, there's a word that says more next to your big head. When you click it, you can download a PDF of your profile. So I really want you to download a PDF of your profile once a month. You know why? I have 15,000 first-degree connections, and my profile's gone down twice. So I would have lost everything in my profile, but I'd back it up once a month with these PDFs. You can also add additional media. So there's that featured area that Maureen had, and then underneath each job, there's more media that you can add. So I'd like you to take those videos from your events, take those PowerPoint presentations, pictures of you with dignitaries, those certifications that you have, those recommendations that you got from those corporate clients. And I want you to pull them all in here so we can see how cool you are, okay? That's what we're looking for. Another action item, friends, I want you to give and receive 3 recommendations on LinkedIn. A recommendation is the old-fashioned handwritten out way. And here's a tip. The first 6 words are the most important, and not this. I had the privilege of working with Kirk for 37 years. No, what you want to say is Kirk is a master at collaborating with partners in the Orlando area to bring together new events, put together the budget, and grow our city together. So something like that instead of, I worked with her for 6 years, okay? So here's an example. Dr. Collier brings terrific blend of knowledge and problem solving, excellent knowledge in informatics, great sense of this. This is not such a good one. I have had the privilege of working with Susie on a number of projects, okay? Okay, guys, some of you on this call may be starting your own company in the interim. And there's a new tool on LinkedIn, and it's called ProFinder. ProFinder, one word. It's a free referral tool. So I was talking to one of my colleagues from Carlson Marketing, where I worked for a number of years. And he's an expert in putting together huge events like the Olympics. He helped with 5 different Olympics. So he is doing referral programs and contract jobs now. This is a free tool. This is what it ends up looking like. And here's where you find it. That tiny head again on your profile, just to the right would be 9 dots. When you click these 9 dots, here's LinkedIn ProFinder. You click ProFinder and it asks you, hey, what services do you provide? What kind of consulting for events? Is it design? Is it professional speakers, etc.? So once you get your LinkedIn profile set up, that says you're open to freelance, contract, fractional, consignment, remote kinds of work, then set up a ProFinder. Because if you set it up too soon, when LinkedIn people look at it, they don't see that you're a contractor. Here's how it looks when I get a request for proposal. You guys, I used to get 7 requests for proposals a day. Now I get, the last 3 weeks I have gotten none. And this week I started getting 2 a day. These people now are requesting public speaking help, lead generation help, LinkedIn help, resume writing, all the kinds of things that I do. And so I'm just showing you how to make it easy to get those contract opportunities. Okay, Kirk, do we have any questions?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, we actually have 2. Dave had asked about photos. He said, any tips on what kind of headshots to use if you don't have a professional headshot?
Yes. So take a picture of you. You guys are event people. Take a picture of you in an event situation, but you know what I really want is your big head. I want that hole to be filled with 70% of your head. You guys, this is where people are seeing you now. They're meeting you for the first time. We want to connect with your eyes and your smile. So you have to look great. So take a shot of you. I'm just going to say, you know, finally our salons opened up, which I haven't gotten into now until the next 2 weeks. So give yourself a makeover before you get a shot, but we're judging you on shots and on your headshots. So get a great photo. Thanks.
Okay, I got another one from Vanessa. She says, how do you attach articles, photos, or something else to your profile? And how can you get your press releases posted in your LinkedIn feed?
Okay, so hi Vanessa, nice to see you. So Vanessa and I, Vanessa Cromer is the one that got me set up here. And so Vanessa, when you go to your LinkedIn profile, there's the new featured section, and you just go to that featured section and you hit the plus, and you're able to then upload media, videos, web links, PowerPoint presentations by just hitting that plus in that featured section. Okay, the next question was, how do you post your press releases? Well, there's 2 different ways. If you use HubSpot, it would automatically post out, or any of those other tools. But the other way, I'm going to show you in a minute, and that's on your homepage when you can set up a post and then bring in the press release. Here's the only problem with a press release. It's usually words and it's not very pretty. And so we want to create a special kind of a press release if you're going to pull it into LinkedIn with pictures. Okay, Kirk, I'll continue.
Okay.
So now we're going to get to step 2. And that's after your house looks good and it's clean, then you can invite people to your party, right? It's like you pick up the garbage on your theme park before you open the gates, right? Which I've done a million times. So here's Reid Hoffman, you guys. He founded LinkedIn in 2002. He was working at PayPal at the time, and his job was to launch PayPal in Japan. He didn't know anybody in Japan, so he started by asking his roommate, Steve, from Stanford. And he says, hey, Steve, you know anybody in Japan? Steve says, my girlfriend Susie was recently in Japan. Maybe she knows somebody. I'll introduce you to her. Susie introduced Reid to Ken. Ken helped them launch PayPal in Japan. eBay ended up buying it for 1.5 billion bucks. Okay, now Reid's out of work, but he's rich. He gets 6 of his buddies together. They sit in their living room. They call themselves the PayPal Mafia. And their goal was to start up organizations. What they realized quickly was the first degree friends didn't know anybody in those organizations. And then Reid realized the girlfriend's value, meaning she had a lot of connections. And when we got into the second degree connections, we could grow our business faster. So here's what I'm going to tell you. My goal for you is to connect with 3 new people a day. And I want you to connect with me today because I have 15,000 first degree friends and a lot of people in your industry that I can connect you with. So please grow your network every day, but not until your profile looks good, with my exception. I want you in my network, okay? Now, I'm going to show you, this is a question that was asked by someone last night, and Kirk sent it to me. This is a great question. So people want to connect with me each day, just like that other woman did where I saw those people on the right-hand side that I wasn't comfortable with. So when someone wants to connect with me, like Mike today, he did not write me a personal message, yet we have 21 friends in common. I click the word manage, and when I click the word manage, it opens up another box where I can message Mike free. And here's what I say to Mike. Hi, Mike. Thanks for the invitation to connect. May I ask, what did you have in mind that I can support you with today? Be well, Ann. And if he does not respond in 3 weeks, I ignore him. If he responds right away, it's usually, hey, Ann, I pushed the wrong button and I used my phone and I just hit the word connect. Sorry, I didn't write you a personal message, but I'd really like to connect and see how we can sponsor that latest gig. So here's what I'm telling you. I used to ignore people that I didn't know, but now I don't. I click manage and I write them a personal note. And I use brain science, frontal cortex, huh? May I ask, what did you have in mind that I can support you with today? I want a response right now. So that's how I handle that. Notice these great people down below here. Please never hit the word connect unless you're on their profile. And the reason is there's no personal message opportunity. So LinkedIn teases you to connect with people, but then they penalize you when you just connect without a personal message. So the best thing to do is always click open their profile and then hit the word connect and then write a personal message. Okay, friends, I want to show you another trick. I went to St. Mary's University in Minneapolis to get a master's degree in human development. Yesterday, I gave a free webinar to 300 people from the university there. When you type in your university in the search bar in LinkedIn, so visualize that search bar in LinkedIn, type in your university, right down below is this box. You click the word alumni. When you click the word alumni, you can type in the type of person you're seeking. So event director, marketing, or event director, healthcare, or event director, sponsorships, or sponsorship director, NFL. And you can see the people down below who are showing up. These are friends that went to college with you. They're going to help you get a job. They're going to help you get into that organization because you have some kind of a value in common. There's another trick here. Do you see this word next? You guys, this is gold. When you click the word next, it will show you what they studied. When you click the word next, it will show you their skills. What did I say about skills before? It's really important. So then I can hone in on, gee, a sponsorship manager at the NFL has these kinds of skills. So this is really cool, this next here. Nobody even knows about it. Okay, once again, never hit the word connect down below. There's no personal message opportunity. All right, so So here's what I might say when I write an invitation. This is my 5-step process that gets 100% hit rate, accept rate. Hi, Kirk. So nice to meet you at the Event Networking webinar today. I appreciated your insights. Let's connect. How can I support you, Kirk? Be well, my friend. Ann, here's my phone number. Here's my 2 websites. So I always put additional content down underneath here. The last thing I might put here is PS. You looked really good on camera, and I really appreciated how you introduced me today. Okay, that's what I might say, right? Because I've been in marketing my whole life, and they read the PS first, friends. Tip from marketer, they read the PS first, okay? So say something cool there. Let me give you an example of what happened about like 9 months ago now. So I went to St. Mary's University, and I also went to Southwest State University in Marshall, Minnesota, where I played basketball in college. A guy named Scott just graduated from Southwest State, and he now works for the Timberwolves. And he emails me through LinkedIn, and he said, hey, Ann, I see we both love basketball, and we both went to Southwest State. Hey, I just got this cool job at the Timberwolves, and I'd love to reserve 2 tickets for you in my box at the opening game. Can you come? Bring a friend. Be well, Scott. Wasn't that nice? So what I'm telling you is a tip on how you can sell or get a job. Now, let me give you one other tip. Let's pretend you're going to connect with a recruiter. And so here's the content that you might say with a recruiter. Hi, Ted. I see that you recruit for event planners, production people, and sponsors of arenas and events. I just furloughed out of this arena. I noticed you have a position available. I'd love to connect and support your success. Do you have time for a quick call this week? Cheers. Ann, phone number underneath. So what did I do? I said, I know what you do. I just did that same job. I'd like to connect and see how I can help you. Friends, there's 78,000 jobs posted on LinkedIn. One of those should be yours, huh? And so if a recruiter posted that job, we want to connect with them. Everybody, I'd like you to take out your phone, please. So here's my phone. This is my art on the back of my phone. My art's behind my head. This piece is welcome, and this piece is tilt-a-whirl. So I used to be in the theme park business, and I still love it. Okay, you got your phone? I would like you to open up your LinkedIn app, please. So open up your LinkedIn app, and I would like you to go to the very top, this bar right here. It's the search bar. I would like you to please click the 4 little dots in the search bar. You're gonna get something that says, hey, go to your settings and open your camera, or it might just say scan. I would like you to take your scan and scan it over my QR code right now, please. You just scanned it over my QR code, and now I'd like you to click the 3 dots to the right of the word connect and write personalized message. Click that and say, hi, Ann, great to see you online today. Thanks for your tips, or whatever you want to tell me. Okay, so now what I just showed you how to do is connect 8 feet away, because now you're going to be at your events and we've got a social distance, you guys. This is a scan opportunity for you to do that. Now I'd like you to go back to your phone, please. And I'd like you to click the arrow to the left of your name at the top, the arrow to the left, okay? And now I'd like you to click my code. Hey friends, this is your QR code. This QR code should go on business cards, resumes, cover letters, email signatures, okay? So now this is your QR code that you can put on PowerPoint presentations like I just did. Now, please X out of this at the top left. And now go to the very bottom of this screen. There are 2 heads way down here, guys, 2 heads, okay? These 2 heads, I'd like you to click them. And now what I'd like you to do is notice the blue head down here in the far right. See that? Please click plus, please click it. Now look what happens. You guys, you're in an event, huge event. Please turn on nearby. Here's where you can see everybody that's at the event, everybody that's got their find nearby at the event. And now you can automatically connect with them. It would be like 400 people at an event right away, okay? You can also immediately connect with somebody. So somebody just wrote me the coolest message. Hey, Ann, this is the coolest webinar ever. I love what you're doing here, okay? Thank you very much. I'll connect with you very shortly. So I just had about 40 people just connect with me on my phone. You know what? I'm the number 1% of people looked at on LinkedIn. You know why? I just showed you. Because I invite everybody to connect with me. I'll go through and vet you guys, but you're already in my network. We're the same peeps, right? I used to be a carny basically. And so I love this. So now we can social distance. You can tell every event person about this, like the corporate event people. So upload this in advance. We can all network and we can have a blast at the same time. Hey friends, here's what the big QR code looks like. So you all got it. Way to go. And if you didn't get it together, upload your app on LinkedIn. Okay, friends, I'm going to move to the third step in my webinar today, and this is influencing. So now I want you to think about what is the advantage that you give to an organization. What does your competition have as far as skills that you don't have? What are the strengths you have? What are you aspiring to do? What's your competitive advantage? So now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. You can take a picture of this slide or you can go to slide 52, you know, when you see it on my LinkedIn profile. You guys, what are you experienced in? And what I'm looking for would be a list of your skills, a subject matter expertise. What value do you bring to a company? So you grow your business. Like Karen Swan, she has deep and rich relationships with people in our Twin Cities community. They will take her call when she calls. She knows everything about ourselves, our people, our family, and we want to do whatever it is for her that we can do for her. So what do you bring to an organization? Deep, rich relationships, an ability to create new products, an ability to work with those producers of organizations, or maybe those difficult celebrity personalities, which I know I worked with them when I was at Valley Fair and I brought in business too. Okay, what do people come to you for, you guys? I'm going to tell you a quick story. I lost 2 jobs in 24 months in 2008. I was the Senior Director of Innovation at Carlson Companies. I created the first wellness programs that Steve Case bought. Steve Case founded AOL. After he left AOL, he started a wellness company. He bought the solution that I directed the creation of with 250 of my colleagues. Now, when I was at Carlson Companies, you know what people were coming to me for? Spiritual coaching and career coaching. I was in the wrong job. I was creating huge technology solutions, but people weren't coming to me for that. So are you in the right job now? And what are people really coming to you for? Is it leadership? Is it personal development? Is it new operational technologies? Is it this COVID stuff on how to get ready for new stuff because you know how to get people in and out easily? So think about that, because this is the problem that you solve. How do you guys want to be found? And this would be back to those 6 tables, right? Those 6 columns. How do you want to be found? What keywords do you want to be found around? What titles, what industries, what specialties? Who do you want to find you? In other words, what's the title of your new boss? What's the industry that you want to be found around? And how do you want to be known? Hey guys, your communities are small communities. In other words, even though you have a big arena, everybody knows you. Everybody knows you in the community and in your town. How are you known? What are people going to come to you for? Are you the one that's the fixer? Are you the one that's the innovator? Are you the one that takes care of all of the conflict situations? Are you the new team builder and the onboarder? Because all of that stuff is going to happen now online. So you have to tell your boss that you can segue, learn new skills. So this is a slide that you should spend some time on. Here's what a personal brand is really, guys. There are 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is, who are you? What are your personal hobbies, your interests, your education? The second one is, where do you work? What are your past jobs? What are your skills? What organizations do you belong to? The next one is your thought leadership. What are you an expert in? So remember back to Will Smith from Radisson. When Will came to me, he said, Angie, I'm really good at operations. Well, now that he's furloughed, I said, here's what I'd like you to consider. Create a thesis. What is your thesis? It's like you're building a new PhD. Now that you're sitting in a hot air balloon, meaning you're outside of the industry, but you're looking up, you're looking down 8,000 feet. What do you want to contribute now that you're going to get back in? What COVID stuff is going to change? How are you going to change it? How are you going to change your leadership style? Some of these hotels in the Twin Cities did not do a good job on furloughing people. They got no outplacement. They got no funding, severance. They're just out of work. I'm sure all around the country it was like that. Well, are you going to want to go back into an organization that did that to you? So the reputations are not good. So your thought leadership is going to talk about your industry and your expertise. Here's one thing you need to know. I do a lot of artificial intelligence, you guys, and I'm tracking what's going on LinkedIn. 97% of what's going on LinkedIn is negative, it's fear-based, it's scared. I do not do that. I do not post anything negative, fear-based, scared. You guys are about bringing joy and creating memories. Why don't you bring back some of those examples of the good times? Why don't you talk about what's going to happen next and how you're preparing? Why don't you think about, instead of the negativity, how you can make things positive again? That's what I do. So now that you're connected to me, you're going to see what I do and what happens because of it. So yesterday, I just created a check-in day, an international check-in day. And I created a picture of waving hands. And I got about 20,000 hits on my LinkedIn profile by doing that. And now, wouldn't I love to take that to all the arenas in the world when we get out of this National Check-in Day? It's May 20th every year, because there were no other things that day, you guys. So I made up a day. So what can you do for your own organization or even for your brand? The last one, friends, is your legacy. I'm 60 years old. So I'm moving into legacy now. What do you want to be remembered for? Things bigger than yourself, for sure. What do you want to say that you've accomplished at the end of your life? So I'd like you to be thinking of these things. Is it leadership? Is it garnering new programs? Is it the relationships that you have with your staff? Is it being a great dad and, you know, developing wonderful kids? What is it that your legacy wants to be? Start thinking about it. Hey friends, the best days to post, and this is back to Vanessa's question, are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 7 to 8 a.m., noon, 5 to 6 p.m. Those are the best times to post. I call it coffee time, corporate time, couch time, okay? Now, I have a strategy on what I post because I didn't tell you this, but I've made every mistake possible on LinkedIn. The first time I posted, I spelled stuff wrong, and I posted where I was going to be, and I even had my home address in LinkedIn. Don't put your home address on LinkedIn, please, okay? I call my posting strategy, theme it and scream it. To whom am I talking, and what am I going to say that adds value, okay? So here's what I might say. Event arena marketing members, did you know there are new jobs being posted every day for free on our new website? There's 68,000 jobs being posted now. Visit the website today. So this is an example of what Kirk said at the beginning of the session that he could reiterate and post out. Underneath it should be a beautiful picture of people with thumbs up, or people working, or people coming together, or people social distancing in an interesting way. So the theme it and scream it is, to whom are you speaking, and what are you going to say that adds value? And then the three strategies are be helpful and add value. And this is education or information content. Wouldn't it be fun if somebody put together a new document on how to social distance for, I don't know, on baseball game that's coming up soon? And then all of you guys could share that content. The first one out is going to be the author of it. Another piece could be promotion of others. And this is what I did today. When I posted that I was really looking forward to speaking here today, I gave a shout out to Kurt, I gave a shout out to Karen Swan, and I gave a shout out to Vanessa. So I signed their name and they got tagged, okay? The last one is humble self-promotion. So I could have just said, I'm looking forward to speaking today to this group and not tag these guys, but I would never do that. So I tell them that I'm going to speak, and then I always bring along my team. I call that my free hugs, okay? So these are the 3 strategies when you think about posting. Here's how to post, Vanessa. You go to your home page, you click the word start a post. Here's where she could bring in the PDF of her press release. I don't want a Word doc because it can be changed. I would like a PDF, but with a PDF, I would like actually a picture. So it is better if you actually write the press release in a PowerPoint presentation so you have a better picture to bring forward. Otherwise, it just looks bland and you won't get clicked on as much. A better idea, Vanessa, would be for you to do a live video standing in front of the event talking about what's happening and how cool people are coming to the event or what's going to go on. This is a live video that takes place. Here's a picture that you can upload. Friends, this is an article. It's a long form blog post. So just by the way, I have 60 of them on my LinkedIn profile. Everything I taught you today, I've broken apart into blogs. So you can read these blog posts right here. So this is how to post, where to post. Okay, friends, I want to talk about hashtags for a minute because you guys aren't using them like you could be using them. A hashtag, as you probably know, is a pound sign that kisses a word. So a pound sign with no space. So I went up to the search bar. So this is a homework assignment. So if you could put it on your piece of paper, I want you to follow 5 hashtags, okay? 5 hashtags. So 1 would be hashtag events. Look what happened when I hit enter. There's 49,000 people following hashtag events. Every one of you guys should be following hashtag events. And another one is hashtag live events. There's about 40,000 people following hashtag live events. So I just wanted to call this guy out. So Mike hashtag live events, and he's talking about what are the driving factors that are going to bring back live event attendees. Here's their survey. So they did a survey about attendees. Look at, this would be the press release, Vanessa. It's not pretty. There's no picture here. So it didn't get read much. So it fell on deaf eyes, right? So what I want here is a beautiful picture of an event, and then the URL could be attached here. And here's an example of the events. You guys, you all should probably go here and find out what's going on with the survey of what's going to bring back the live events. He also put a hashtag in here. That's why I found him, because he put a hashtag in his comments in the posts. So I want you to put about 5 hashtags in your comments of your posts. Somebody could like it, comment, and share it. If you commented, always be smart, thoughtful, insightful, and add value, okay? So don't say, I'd like to set up a coffee meeting with you, because everybody can see that. Now, I'm going to give you an example. This is my office. It's in Minnetonka, Minnesota. It's on a little piece of lake. And I moved in about 3 years ago. These are my pieces of art. You guys, I tried video for the first time, posted it, tagged about 60 of my friends, and I've gotten 40,000 views. So what I'm telling you is, you folks are the masters of video. You're the masters of events. You should be using events on all of your tools on LinkedIn to get you showing up higher in searches and your events recognized, okay? So video is king. Hey friends, while you're maybe furloughed or sitting on the sidelines, it's really a great time for you to get some new skills. So once again, you see your tiny head here. Next to your tiny head are the 9 dots. If you click here, you can see LinkedIn Learning and you can take courses. Hey, also, if you get a library number, a library card, but go to your public library website, you can get a library card and you can take lynda.com classes for free, which are the same ones, they're just branded a different way. Lynda is spelled L-Y-N-D-A, L-Y-N-D-A.com, L-Y-N-D-A.com. I'm taking lynda.com courses on how to do video on my iPhone. So that's what I'm doing to try to bone up on how to take videos. Here is also ProFinder that I talked about earlier for those of you that would like to start your own business. All my information is housed on SlideShare, you guys. SlideShare is like a huge refrigerator in the sky that houses all of my thought leadership content, including PDFs and PowerPoints. and I can turn them off and turn them on based on who I want to see what. Okay, friends, this is the easiest thing to do. You know your trade publications, the business journals, your event magazines, etc. I read them every day. I get the Google alerts sent to me for free. I see my friend, I actually take a picture of her, I send her a text message and I say, hey, Colleen, congrats, you're a star. I'm so excited to see that you are promoted. Let me know how I can help. Be well. Hey, just a tip. You might want to add your company to your profile. I got a $17,000 piece of business by that one reach out, by that one hug. And I do that every day, you guys. So this is how I keep in touch with my buddies. I read the trade publications. I give them a shout out. All right, as we begin to wrap up, and I know we are kind of at the end of our time, I started the beginning by saying there's 78,000 jobs on LinkedIn. How did I find that? You guys, that search bar right up here, I typed in event jobs. That's all I did. There's 78,000 event jobs on LinkedIn. Now, I didn't do the traditional search, type in event manager, because I wanted to see the scope of all the event jobs. But look what I also noticed, online event consultants. Guys, this is a new title that you ought to know that you better put in your LinkedIn profile. And one of the tips would be put COVID readiness or COVID recovery, online events consultant or online events coordinator, online events facilitator, okay? So those are the kinds of things that I'm noticing when I look at new jobs. Please don't apply through LinkedIn. Guys, listen up. Apply on the company website. Why? Because sometimes the job is not posted anymore. So always apply on the company website. Here's a tip. When you do the advanced search, I might have to come back and actually do another webinar on advanced search because this is so robust. So you type in all filters here, all filters, and you can see all your buddies. So I can actually do a gold mine dive into Kurt's connections. And so I just typed in his name and I would hit apply and I could see all of his connections on LinkedIn to see if there's somebody I want to meet. Hey, you guys, SoFi is hiring. So if anybody's on this call from SoFi, they're hiring. And I went to their company page on LinkedIn. I clicked follow, and there's all kinds of other arenas that are here that you might want to follow because then you'll get the content and you'll be able to see what they're talking about on LinkedIn. Okay, so follow companies on LinkedIn. All right, follow people from the companies on LinkedIn. Like, comment, and share their posts. Join groups that are on LinkedIn. You just type in, look what I did, live events. Everybody should be joining these live event groups on LinkedIn. This is where the action is taking place. Hey, you guys, what I'm noticing in my community is people are rethinking events and meetings, okay? And look at these friends of mine, they're actually panelists. So maybe there's an opportunity for you to be a panelist. Raise your hand, figure out something new that you want to say about COVID-19 that worked in your community. Kirk was just telling me today that he was on a 3-hour call today for his community, and they were talking about how they're going to get their bars and restaurants reopened and they're all working together. Something like that. Kirk could be a panelist. He could provide so much rich information for other cities across the United States. I'd love to connect him with some of my friends at the Twin Cities Business Journal, Minneapolis, St. Paul Business Journal. So he could contribute to what we're doing here. So what am I telling you? Share your thought leadership. These are the kinds of apps that you should be using. I love business journals. This is the LinkedIn app. Indeed, LinkUp, Career Builder, Glassdoor, ZipRecruiter are great apps. Guys, you need to set up your system. You need to get organized. This is in my profile. I also have a free LinkedIn checklist. This is on my LinkedIn page that you can grab. And so now I'd love for you to be on LinkedIn 10 minutes a day. Take Saturdays off. And Sundays, I'm on LinkedIn at 3:30. I call it changing my oil. For 10 minutes, I add new content. I like, comment, share. I give recommendations, etc. So the big idea is I want you to connect with 10 people a week. I want you to set up 4 virtual coffees. I want you to join my group, guys. Stay in touch with me. I started a group called Online Branding for Success. Please write it down or take a picture on your phone. Online Branding for Success. Go find it. You're going to stay in touch with me, and I won't. I post like once a week. So as we wrap up, 10 minutes a week on LinkedIn, guys. Actually, I want 10 minutes a day, okay? Complete your profile, add 4 connections, try video, join groups, refer people to friends you know, okay? Apply for jobs. Okay, friends, my college professor, Priscilla Herbison, emailed me the other day and she said, Ann, you were made for this time. And I know those of us that are here on earth right now are made for this time. And so I'm here to support your success. I want to know in the chat what one action you guys are going to take. So as you're typing in the chat, I want to tell you a quick story. Friends, in 2017, I was downloaded information from a friend that passed away. And she said I was going to drip ink on plastic and blow it with my breath. I'm not an artist. I've never taken an art class. And I began painting, as she said. I began posting on LinkedIn some of the images with nice quotes. The Hallmark Channel CMO found me. She referred me to the CEO of the Hallmark Channel. The CEO called me and invited me to be on the Hallmark Channel last year at this time. So this is my own cabin. What do you call them? I don't even know. Okay. And this is where they're getting me set up, the producers. And here's where I taught Cameron Matheson, the nicest man, I just love him, how to blow ink on plastic with his breath. And it was just a phenomenal experience. And now I have my art all over the world, and it's in gift shops, and it's hanging at Mayo Clinic and Pulitzer Prize winners' homes. So I'm telling you that I'm speaking about bringing your life force to work. And during this time, it's really important for you to unearth your passions, you guys. And everything is possible. You just have to dream it, and you were made for this time. Here's where I'm now speaking. I'm painting across the United States, and I'm teaching people that your soul wants to be activated now to do this work. So friends, I'd love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Ann Pryor, and here's how you can find me. And as we wrap up, Kirk, are there any questions?
Yeah, Ann, fantastic. We've got a couple right here. One of them is, any specific advice for self-employed group sales? All of my annual family events have gone away, and I'm looking for a way to pick up different types of events when smaller venues begin to open.
My friend, there's a tool called Sales Navigator on LinkedIn. It's $79 a month. It will blow you away. The Sales Navigator tool helps you find all of those businesses within 2 clicks and help find those kinds of people. So you're talking about a sales strategy, and I use Sales Navigator every day. It's just phenomenal. So check it out.
Excellent. Got another one too. It said, if you are launching your personal brand or business, should you create a separate LinkedIn page, or is it okay to use your profile to showcase both entities?
Great question. Friends, you can only have one LinkedIn profile. Okay, so you need to marry your brand together. So think of your brand like an umbrella. The top of the umbrella is actually the brand. You're going to have 3 handles of the umbrella. So what are the 3 things you want to be known for? But the top of the umbrella is your brand. So I'm a master at facilitating meaningful connections, okay? And so I do that in a variety of different ways. So you get one profile. But my friend before this, so he has his own company, or she does, their own group sales company, then they would have a company page on LinkedIn. So there's a personal page, and then there's a company page. And then that person should also have a ProFinder page. So 3 pages.
Excellent. And one final question for you, and it's for me. How do you squeeze 30 hours into a 24-hour day?
I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. How do you do it?
I don't get up at 4. I can assure you of that.
Good. So I actually slow down to speed up. I started meditating now for about 45 minutes a day, and it's really helped me.
Excellent. Well, Ann, thank you so much. We appreciate your insights. You crammed a lot into that hour. We certainly appreciate it. And someone that has 15,000 first-degree connections, that's pretty remarkable. And you're a carny, or so you claim. So I don't think the two have connected before, but thank you so much. We really appreciate your time today. And we're going to make this available to all of our members so that they can kind of review your tips, and hopefully we can help a lot of people out. So thank you.
Good. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Vanessa and Karen, who are on the call. Goodbye.